Gentlemen, I need to start with a truth that may sound harsher than you imagine. If your penis no longer responds like it used to, it's not because you've gotten too old, nor because your best years are behind you. The surprising revelation is something else entirely. Millions of men every morning have their coffee and, without realizing it, waste the simplest opportunity to recover firm, natural erections. Even at 70, even at 80 years old, this is still possible. My name is Dr. Miguel Amorim. I am a certified urologist and professor of men's health, with over 3 decades dedicated to guiding men to reclaim energy, confidence, and vitality. I've followed thousands of patients who believed decline was inevitable, and I've seen with my own eyes that the human body has far greater capacity than most imagine. The great reality that's almost never mentioned is this: erections don't fade just because of age. They diminish because testosterone drops, because blood vessels harden, and because the body stops receiving the right fuel. And that's exactly where the drink you start your day with, coffee, can transform into a powerful ally to reverse this process. By simply adding one natural ingredient to your cup, you can improve circulation, stimulate testosterone production, and recover erection firmness in a safe, natural, and lasting way. We're not talking about empty promises or quick fixes that vanish overnight. This is about giving your body what it truly needs to feel alive again. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly what to mix into your coffee to reignite your potency and vitality, even in advanced ages. Stay with me, because this simple change can transform more than just your mornings. It can transform your entire life. Before we go further, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any of the upcoming content designed for men over 60 to regain strength and vitality. And I really want to hear from you. If this message resonated, leave a comment. If not, leave a 0, and tell me how I can make these videos even more useful. Now, let's get straight to the point. Before revealing what to add to your coffee, you need to understand why erections often fail after 60. It's not just aging itself. There are 2 powerful internal changes that gradually undermine your performance: the drop in testosterone and the hardening of blood vessels. These are the 2 pillars that explain erectile loss after 60. Be honest with yourself. When a patient sits across from me and opens up, "Doctor, I don't feel like myself anymore," I see the anguish in his eyes. He believes it all happened suddenly, as if he woke up one day and realized his virility had vanished. But the truth is different. This silent transformation had been happening inside him for decades. By the time he reaches 60, 2 processes are already well advanced in his body, eroding his strength, his confidence, and yes, his sexual potency. The first is the gradual drop in testosterone. This hormone isn't just linked to desire, it's fuel for muscles, energy, enthusiasm, and even the spark in your mood. In youth, testosterone flowed through the body like an abundant river, but after 60, that level is often cut in half. And when that happens, the body loses its vigor. Energy wanes, muscles thin out, and that natural desire that once seemed eternal begins to fade. The second major change happens in your blood vessels. They become harder, lose flexibility, and no longer carry blood like they used to. Think of a garden hose at the peak of your youth, when the pressure made the water gush with force and consistency. That's how the flow was in your body too. Firm, reliable, almost automatic erections. But with the passing years, that same hose wears out, starts to leak, the pressure drops, and what was once certain becomes uncertain or even non-existent. This doesn't mean a lack of desire, nor a failure of masculinity. It's simply biology, a silent process that builds up against you over time. But here's the essential detail: biology can be influenced. Decline isn't destiny. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s respond as if they'd turned back decades, as long as they provide the body with the right fuel. And that's exactly where a ritual you already practice every day comes in, your morning cup of coffee. Because despite seeming like just a common habit, with the right natural ingredient, that coffee can become the simplest and most powerful way to fight these changes. I want you to understand how that first sip of the day can hold the key to restoring your potency. 2. Coffee. The missed opportunity. Every morning, men over 60 repeat the same ritual. The smell of freshly ground beans fills the kitchen. Steam rises in swirls, and that first sip brings a familiar sense of comfort. I know that pleasure well myself. Coffee has been my companion for years, and many of the men I treat tell me, "Doctor, I could give up a lot of things, but never my morning coffee." I smile because I understand. For many, coffee is like a friend. It wakes you up, clears the mind, and gives you strength to start the day. But here's the unexpected truth. As good as coffee is on its own, it only fulfills half its potential. Yes, the caffeine gives a momentary burst of energy and speeds up circulation for a few instants, but soon that effect fades. It's no wonder that by mid-morning, many already feel tired again, needing a second or even third cup. It's like revving a car with a worn-out engine. It responds for a while, but the real problem remains untouched inside. And that's where the opportunity is lost, because coffee can be much more than a daily habit. It can be transformed into a true recovery ritual, a natural remedy disguised as routine. When mixed with the right ingredient, coffee doesn't just wake your mind, it awakens your entire body, improves circulation, stimulates testosterone, and restores firmness to erections. I've heard men in their 70s tell me that after this simple change, coffee stopped being just a habit and became a turning point. The moment they stopped feeling impotent and started feeling truly alive again. Now imagine this. The same drink you already trust can be the key to rescuing the vitality you thought was lost forever. And the secret is in adding just one detail, a simple spice, something that's probably already in your kitchen. There's something that can not only flavor your coffee, but also protect the blood vessels that sustain your masculinity. It's time to reveal that secret. 3. The first ingredient, cinnamon. Safeguarding the vessels. When I was a child, I remember watching my mother sprinkle cinnamon over hot oatmeal, and the aroma would fill the entire house. It was a scent that brought comfort, security, and family memories. Many of us think of cinnamon only as a dessert spice or something typical of holiday gatherings. But with the experience accumulated in my practice, I've learned it goes far beyond that. For men over 60, cinnamon can become a true ally, not just for flavor, but for protection. It acts on the body's most fragile vessels, precisely those that carry blood to the sexual organ. And here's a detail most people don't know. Every spike and drop in blood sugar causes tiny lesions in those microscopic vessels, thinner than a hair. When they weaken, circulation to the penis is one of the first to be affected. That's why it's not uncommon for men with poor blood sugar control to notice erection difficulties long before a formal diabetes diagnosis. Cinnamon, however, acts as a true shield. Scientific studies have shown it can reduce fasting blood sugar by up to 20 to 30%. That's no small thing. It's the difference between fragile vessels on the verge of breaking and strong ones capable of transporting blood with vitality where it's most needed. And the story doesn't end there. Cinnamon also boosts nitric oxide production, the molecule that relaxes and dilates blood vessels. It's exactly the same mechanism that medications like Viagra try to activate. But in this case, you get that help from a simple spice tucked away in your kitchen cabinet. My patients who started adding just a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon to their morning coffee noticed not only more stable energy throughout the day, but also firmer, longer-lasting erections in just a few weeks. A 68-year-old gentleman told me that for the first time in years, he felt like he had control over his own body again. Cinnamon is simple, cheap, and extremely effective. But if a spice as common as this can achieve such results, imagine what happens when it's combined with another natural ingredient, even more potent in activating nitric oxide. And that adds a depth of flavor to your coffee capable of transforming not just your mood, but your virility as well. 4. The second ingredient, cocoa, the nitric oxide activator. Cocoa has something almost magical about it. I remember the first time I tasted pure cocoa during a trip through South America when I was young. It wasn't the sweetened powder many of us mix into milk. It was intense, full-bodied, vibrant in flavor. For the locals, it wasn't just a pleasurable food. It was a kind of natural medicine capable of strengthening the body and revitalizing the spirit. And years later, already as a urologist, I discovered they were right. For men over 60, cocoa isn't just a pleasant taste. It acts directly on circulation, mood, and the essential chemistry that makes erections possible. Inside cocoa are flavonoids, natural compounds that stimulate nitric oxide release. It's this molecule that opens blood vessels and allows blood to flow freely. Without nitric oxide, there's simply no erection, no matter how much desire there is. If the blood can't get in, nothing happens. It's that simple. Cocoa works like a natural switch, capable of reactivating circulation. In a way, it mimics the effect of medications used for erectile dysfunction, but it does so gently, safely, and without side effects. And the benefits don't stop at circulation. Cocoa also carries substances that elevate mood, like anandamide, known as the molecule of happiness, and phenylethylamine, associated with feelings of love and attraction. Add to that a good dose of magnesium, the mineral essential for muscle function, nerves, and even testosterone production. Now you can understand why cocoa has been valued for centuries. A simple teaspoon of pure, unsweetened cocoa mixed into your morning coffee not only creates a flavor reminiscent of mocha, but also triggers a noticeable boost in energy and blood flow. Men in their 70s have told me, "Dr. Miguel Amorim, it's like they reignited a light inside me." And when you combine cocoa with the next ingredient, a root grown in the heights of the Andes and celebrated for centuries as the fire of male vitality, the results become even more impressive. 5. The third ingredient, maca, awakening desire and stamina. In the Andes, where the air is thin and life demands extra strength, grows a simple root full of power. That root is maca. I remember first encountering it not in scientific articles, but in the stories of older men who spoke of it with almost sacred respect. They called it Peruvian ginseng, not because it acts like an aggressive stimulant, but because it awakens something that seemed dormant with time. For many men over 60, maca isn't just a supplement. It's proof that vitality can be recovered, no matter how many years have passed. While cinnamon protects the vessels and cocoa activates nitric oxide, maca speaks directly to the hormones. It acts on the body's command centers, the hypothalamus and pituitary, helping to restore balance. When that adjustment happens, testosterone rises, energy returns, and desire reappears. I've heard men nearing 70 describe the change as a flame reignited, first timid, then growing week by week. Studies indicate that just 1 teaspoon of maca per day, about 2.4 grams, can improve desire and sexual performance in as little as 12 weeks. But what impresses me most isn't just the science. It's the spark in a man's eyes when he feels that energy return. A retired professor in his 70s once told me, "Dr. Miguel Amorim, it's like they turned the lights back on in my head." That's the kind of transformation maca provides. It's not just stronger intimacy, but also mental clarity, balanced mood, and a renewed sense of personal confidence. Yellow maca is the most common. Red offers special support for prostate health, and black is considered the most potent, excellent for energy and stamina. The best part is that it mixes easily into coffee, bringing a mildly sweet flavor with notes of nuts and malt. It pairs perfectly with cocoa. But while maca awakens desire and balances hormones, the next ingredient goes even further because it doesn't just support testosterone, it provides the body with the raw materials needed to produce it. That's where things get truly powerful. 6. The fourth ingredient, coconut oil, fuel for testosterone and stable energy. I remember treating patients in the 1990s who came in proudly to tell me how they'd cut out butter, oils, and anything fatty, believing they were protecting their hearts. But here's the great irony. Testosterone, the hormone that symbolizes energy, vitality, and masculinity, is produced from fats and cholesterol. When you deprive the body of these essential elements, you end up suffocating your masculinity as well. That's why I often smile when explaining that something as simple as adding coconut oil to your morning coffee can be one of the easiest ways to give your body what it needs to feel alive again. Coconut oil is special because it's rich in medium-chain triglycerides, the famous MCTs. These types of fats don't follow the slow, common digestion. They go straight to the liver, where they're quickly converted into clean, available energy. It's like fueling your body with premium gas. It burns efficiently, generates lasting strength, and avoids the typical crash from sugar or processed carbs. When MCTs are present, you not only feel more alert, but studies show testosterone production can increase by up to 20%. That gain translates to more stable energy, balanced mood, and yes, better performance when it really matters. I remember a patient in his late 60s who came to my office completely drained. He still worked part-time, had responsibilities, but confessed he was dragging himself through the day. I suggested he try the so-called bulletproof coffee, mixed with a spoonful of coconut oil. A month later, he walked into my office with a different look on his face. He said his mornings felt firmer, his energy no longer crashed. And with a discreet smile, he shared that he and his wife had rediscovered an intimacy they'd thought was lost. That's the power of the right fuel. Mixing coconut oil into hot coffee creates a creamy drink like a latte that slows caffeine absorption and ensures hours of steady energy. And while nourishing testosterone is powerful, the next ingredient takes everything to an even more impressive level. It doesn't just renew your drive. It turbocharges blood circulation and directly protects the glands that make you a man. That's where the real fire starts. 7. The fifth ingredient, ginger, supercharging circulation and defending testosterone. There's something unforgettable about ginger. The spicy, warm tingle on the tongue, the soothing sensation when sipping it in tea, or that bold flavor in a favorite dish. But beyond the taste, ginger holds a power that many men over 60 overlook. In my years of practice, I've seen ginger transform not just circulation, but confidence as well. It's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, and modern science now confirms what our ancestors knew. Ginger opens blood vessels, protects testosterone, and restores energy and vitality. When included in your daily routine, its active compounds, gingerol and shogaol, help vessels relax and dilate, allowing blood to flow fully and naturally. That extra warmth you feel isn't just spicy flavor. It's blood circulating freely through the body, reaching the brain, the heart, and yes, your masculinity. For men facing weakened erections due to sluggish circulation, ginger can make a real difference. But the effects don't stop there. Ginger also acts as a protector of testosterone. Over time, stress, toxins, and aging wear down the testicular cells responsible for producing this vital hormone. Ginger steps in to shield those cells, reduce oxidative stress, and stimulate luteinizing hormone, the messenger that signals the body to produce more testosterone. In one scientific study, Testosterone levels rose by nearly 18% in men who consumed ginger consistently for 3 months. I think of one of my patients, a discreet 65-year-old man who'd tried countless supplements without success. I suggested something simple: a few slices of fresh ginger in his morning coffee, or for convenience, just a quarter teaspoon of the powder. A few weeks later, he returned to the office with a firm handshake and a radiant smile. He said, "Dr. Miguel Amorim, I feel warmer, stronger, more alive." And it was his wife who noticed it before I did. That's the kind of transformation ginger provides. And the best part is, whether fresh or powdered, ginger is accessible, safe, and easy to include in your daily ritual. Now imagine, you've added cinnamon, cocoa, maca, coconut oil, and ginger. Your coffee has gone from a mere ordinary drink to a powerful formula for strength, circulation, and vitality. But beyond the science, there's a final truth you need to hear. One that speaks not just to your body, but to your identity, your pride, and how you feel as a man. Conclusion. Gentlemen, we've journeyed together through a true path, from cinnamon, balancing blood sugar, to cocoa, releasing nitric oxide, to maca, reigniting desire, to coconut oil, fueling testosterone, and finally to ginger, boosting circulation. These aren't just ingredients. They're daily choices that respect your body and honor your masculinity. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s rediscover that life can still offer strength, passion, and joy when they take simple, consistent steps. So tomorrow morning, when you prepare your cup of coffee, remember, this isn't just any routine. It's an opportunity to reignite your energy and pave the way for even better days. Because despite what many believe, your best moments may still lie ahead.